My name is Ashley Riley. I'm a student here at SUI. I just finished today the echocardiography program for Diagnostic Medical Sonography Advanced. Like, really? Okay. The real reasons. I know that I wanted to do something else. I was a single mom, and I know that I wanted to obviously make more money. I had originally thought that I wanted to do the registered nursing program, and so I spent a couple years doing all the prerequisites for that. I would go to night classes at Solano Community College, and it was really hard, but I started to do that, and then I just felt discouraged, and I started to lose some hope because it was incredibly complicated to become a registered nurse. You had to do all of these prerequisites, and those prerequisites had prerequisites, and all of this you had to complete within 5 years' time, and then you had to apply for the program, and then once you applied and were accepted, then there was a 2 to 3 year waiting list, and then you finally got into the program. And a lot of people say, like, you can't work full-time and be a full-time single mom and survive the registered nursing program. Like, it's a lot. And I started to become discouraged, and in order to get the future that I wanted, it was so far away. Also, once you actually become a registered nurse, then you're clinical nurse level 1. It's hard to find a job as that. Everybody wants experience, and it just seemed like it would be a tremendous amount of work. And then I'm not getting any younger. Then you're on your feet, and then you're taking the night shifts, and it's hard all the way around. I have so much respect for all of my friends that actually did this program. I was always fascinated with ultrasound. I have 4 daughters, and so I remember every time I would go in for an ultrasound, asking the ultrasound technicians, how did you do this? How did you come to be an ultrasound technician? Asking questions. I loved looking at the pictures. I loved seeing the babies bounce around. And so that was always on my mind. And I actually didn't know of any ultrasound programs, which is another reason why I started doing nursing prerequisites. And one day, as I was going through my divorce, I sat down and said, I need to make a decision today. Do I stay a medical assistant, and this is what I will be for the rest of my life? Or do I want to just bite the bullet and go in and pick something else? And I said, you know what? I don't want to be an RN. I really want to be an ultrasound technician. How? Where do I start? And I just started Google searching. I looked up schools I was willing to scratch and claw and find my way. And ironically, SUI was not the first school that popped up. Other schools did, and they just didn't seem like the best of fits, or they had waiting lists, or it was hard to get in. And somehow I came across SUI, and I started looking into SUI. And I came in and I met with Armene, and I immediately felt warmed and welcomed here. And I really felt like this is the school that I want. I will do anything to get into this school. And I did. And I just feel like the universe had my back, because once I made the decision to be an ultrasound technician, everything just worked out. And if it didn't work out, I found a way to work it out. And I pictured myself with this job, doing what I love, scanning people, helping them with their health care. So I still get to work with patients, that one-on-one contact. I get to sit in a quiet room with this patient and take these pictures of inside of their body that will help them. It is fascinating to me. I love it, and it all just worked out. That's actually another one of the things, is a lot of people may not want to sit in a dimly lit, quiet room, but that's what I'm looking forward to, is just the serenity, the peace of it, taking these images. I love it. This school, why this school as opposed to the other schools? Several reasons. So I don't know if you can use a lot of what I'm saying because I don't want to like talk smack about any other schools, but I didn't. I went to the orientation for other schools as well as SUI, and I didn't get the same feel. It almost seemed cold, clinical, military-like, extremely competitive. You were just competing just to even get a spot in the school. And from my very first interaction with SUI, I instantly felt comfortable. I almost, after my first meeting with Armene, I walked out of here and I just knew this is the school that I want. I can do this. She gave me so much hope, so much encouragement. Everyone here was friendly, even the students that were walking around the halls. I got the impression that the culture here is helpful and warm and encouraging and supportive. Even the walls of this school are covered in pictures, inspirational sayings, pictures. My favorite one is down the hall, and it says, "You can do this." And every time I walk by it, I just kind of nod and think to myself, I can do this. And the energy here is amazing. And I picked this school, and I'm grateful that I picked this school. Because for me, what was attractive to me was actually very important when I got my cancer diagnosis. I came into school one day and said, hey, I have to go have a procedure done. And the very next day, I came in and told everybody that I had cancer, and we didn't know what stage it was yet. And admissions and Sam and Seema and Armene and my instructors, everyone came together, and they were kind and understanding and concerned. I was out of the program for a year and a half battling this cancer, and they all came together and would check on me regularly and said, when you're ready, we'll be here for you to come back. And I said, okay. And I believed, you know what? They're gonna make it work for me. When I'm strong and when I'm healthy, I'm gonna come back. They gave me that much encouragement where I believed, if they believe in me, well, I can believe in me. I can do this. And it was intimidating coming back. So, I was sick and weak, and even though I had beaten the cancer, I felt a little discouraged. And if I didn't have this warm, supportive environment, I might have taken more time off. I might have had a harder time coming back, but they made it easy. They moved mountains for me. They made it happen, and I didn't want to let them down. So that's why SUI. Well, the not glamorous answer is that my right wrist hurts. So when I had cancer, I broke this arm in a car accident, and it didn't heal. And so I knew that scanning with this hand wasn't necessarily going to be an option. Now, the heart has always fascinated me, and in general and in MA school, whenever we had a chapter about the heart, I was all ears. I was fascinated. I got A's on it. I studied it. When I was in general, if we were scanning the liver and we accidentally caught a glimpse of that heart moving, it was amazing to look at. This heart, this organ pumping inside of this person, keeping this person alive from conception until the day that they die. And the heart is, basically the life force, and we get to see it and how it functions. And all of these mathematical equations that we're learning, what do they mean for the blood that's going through all of these chambers. This heart, this small organ, can impact everything else inside of the body. And one of the things that I really liked about echo was that you, instead of learning one organ and then another organ and then another organ, we get to learn one, and we get to go into depth, detail. We know everything there is to know about this one organ. And having a cardiologist for an instructor was the icing on the cake. He taught us above and beyond. And I know that when I go on my externship, I know I'm going to nail it because of everything that he taught me. And yeah. Oh, I'm excited. I'm actually really excited to start my externship. I know it'll be a couple of months before like the placement happens, the match, and actually driving and showing up on my very first day. I know it's going to be a couple months, and that's okay. I am looking forward to that because we get to take everything that we learned and use it in a real setting with real patients. I haven't worked, I've been on disability. I haven't worked since I found out I had cancer. And so I get to go out and feel like I'm a part of the healthcare industry again. I feel like I did so much scanning on my classmates, and I know everything about each of their hearts. But now I get to go out and learn about different pathologies. And, someone comes in, maybe they had a heart attack, maybe they have a heart defect. And all of these things that I can describe to you and write down on paper, I will actually get to see in person and hopefully help them make a difference. I want to be competent enough to where if I'm scanning them and I see something is not right, I can catch it. I can take pictures of it and give it to the cardiologist so that they may save the patient's life. So I'm really looking forward to being back in that atmosphere where I can help people, where I can help the patients, and maybe even hear their stories. Maybe, if they want to hear a little bit about my story, I'll, maybe just mention it so that they can feel encouraged. I think sometimes the healthcare professional makes the difference when someone goes in. The interview, job interviews. I'm nervous about that. So one of the things I like about SUI is that you will offer assistance and practice and mock interviews. And so when the time comes, I'm going to come in here and practice and practice and practice until I feel like I am a superstar interviewer. So that's one thing I'm nervous about. Another is, what if I forget something? What if I go in and I'm at my externship and they ask me a question and I don't remember right off of the top of my head. So I'm a little nervous about that. But what makes me feel a little better is that a lot of my friends have told me that if you don't know the answer to something, most of the time, if you just say, I don't quite remember, but if you give me a little bit of time, I will go research it and get back to you, and they're okay with that. So that gives me a little bit of hope. I have my future planned out. I have dreams, specific. I've been journaling about my goals, my hopes, my dreams in great detail. And so 5 years from now, I am going to still be cancer-free because I've been cancer-free for about a year, and I have to stay that way for a grand total of 5 years before they really give me the all clear. So I will be officially cancer-free. I will be an echo tech. I'll be working. I would be happy either with adults or in pediatrics. I would really love to go back to pediatrics. And I will have a little piece of property up in the mountains in Northern California. Like, you can get a couple of acres You can get building permits and you can put a manufactured cabin on it. And I will be there with my kids, my boyfriend, my dogs, my family. And I will be working at the job of my dreams, living the life of my dreams. And I know that life happens. Sometimes there are hiccups along the way. Not every single day is perfect. I understand this. But I'll be living. And it's this dream that got me through my worst days of cancer. My sickest days, when I was really ill, when I was in pain, when I was in the hospital, all of those times. What got me through it was thinking about what I wanted for my future. And what is it going to look like? What does it smell like? What color cabinets do I want? Where would I like to apply as a cardiac sonographer? And all of these things got me through. I also used to say, someday this will be the past, and someday I will be there back in school. Someday I'm going to finish school. Someday I'm going to apply for a job. Someday I'm going to get that job. Someday I'm going to be holding that first paycheck. And then someday I'm going to be making the purchase. I'm going to buy my cabin. And I'm literally living one of those some days today. And I thought about it right when I finished my final exam. I clicked submit, and I sat there for a minute, and I saw that I got an A. And I thought to myself, like, I was envisioning what this moment would look like for me when I was really sick, when I had stage 3 cancer, when I was on chemotherapy, in the hospital, with pneumonia, with extremely low white blood cells. And I pictured, I am going to go back to school and I'm going to finish it, and it's going to feel great when I'm done on my very last day. And there I was. It just happened to me, and I'm sitting here today. I finished it. I did it. So this means a lot to me.